Welcome to the show Straight from Heart. The Straight from Heart is a conversation about authentic leadership. These are the conversations which inspire people to greatness. And to do that honor, today we have with us Garry Ridge, the President and CEO of WD-40, very well-known company in North America and around the world for having transformed its business, people, and culture. My first question to you is tell us briefly about this entire journey that you have lived through from the time you joined the company and the place where you are.
Yeah, I joined the company in 1987 in Australia to open our Australian subsidiary there. And I was the managing director of Asia Pacific. So I spent a lot of time in Asia and in your great country as well, India. And in 1994, I transferred from Sydney to San Diego to head up our global expansion. At that time, only about 10% of our revenue was outside of the United States. And we had a dream to take our blue and yellow can with a little red top to the world. And then in 1997, I got the opportunity to lead the company as CEO. And since then, we've quadrupled the size of the company by revenue, nearly 9 times in value, and we're now selling or creating memories in 176 countries around the world, and about 65% of our revenue is outside of the United States.
That's great to hear. And personally, what led you to stick for such a long time and keep reinventing and yet finding purpose there?
I really think that if you get a chance in life to work with some and create with some fantastic people, and not only that, you can make a difference. I love what I do. I have the best job in the world. I wake up every morning to help people create positive, lasting memories. The most exciting part of that is finding all the different ways to do it. So that's why I really love what I do.
And that's the way you describe your business also, which is very interesting and intuitive statement that we are in the business of memory. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, I think that one of the things you need is a true purpose in life, as I've said. And our purpose is to create positive, lasting memories, solving problems in factories, homes, and workshops of the world. We solve problems and we create opportunities, which is much more exciting than saying you sell oil in a can.
One of the greatest challenges for CEOs is to create a lasting and compelling culture. With strategy, most people get it right. What has been your experience and revelations which could be of utility for others who are watching this conversation?
Yeah.
How to create the best culture?
Well, culture we all know how to create culture. We learned it at school in science, right? We got a petri dish and we put elements in it, and you can grow good or bad culture. Good culture is about caring about people, and care is not only caring about them personally, but caring about creating an environment where they can step into the best version of their personal self every day. We say that imagine a place where you go to work every day, you make a contribution to something bigger than yourself, you learn, you have fun, and you go home to your house happy, and that's what we try to do. So care is very important. Candor, no lying, no faking, no hiding. We want to make sure we have an environment where we create that accountability. What are we accountable for to each other? And then responsibility. It's our responsibility to build an organization based on our values. And it's those elements that we put into our petri dish every day to grow a culture that is engaging.
I can understand that for an individual to do it is far easy because he's so passionate about. How do you cascade among hundreds and thousands of people?
Well, we have a great opportunity in that there are not that many organizations in the world who want to create an environment where people actually enjoy going to work. And in fact, as I shared today, 66% of people who go to work every day are either disengaged or actively disengaged in their job. They hate going to work. They can't wait to go home. So if you can create an environment where you do have the elements that actually support people, those flow through the organization. But it takes time. You can't build culture overnight. You can't sprinkle fairy dust on an organization and have it change. So
It's not a garnishing.
it's not a garnishing. It's a true commitment, and our people are committed to that.
Could you recall and share some of the things that came up bottoms up in creating the culture?
Yeah, I think that certainly our values, we did that from the bottom up. We asked our people what they felt the values should be in the organization that would have them proud to be part of the organization. So you can't gift people values.
Yeah.
They have to be convinced that they are part of those values. So that was one of the things. A lot of the development of much of our learning culture has also come. People are hungry for learning if you can, bring them learning. So that was important as well. And then a lot of the compassion that is amongst people. If you can unlock the compassion, it will come from the bottom as well. So I think that culture is bottoms up, top down.
I see, in a sense, a lot of democratization of the process in creating the culture. Probably that's what has helped you create such
Yes.
a very compelling system. Your results of employee survey were really impressive. I haven't seen consistently above the 90% marks. How do you achieve that?
By caring for people, by having candor, by accountability, responsibility, by having values, by having a clear purpose, by communicating, by showing people that they can make a difference to something bigger than themselves, and by being rigorous around ensuring that we don't allow the culture to be polluted. WD-40 is a great place, but it's not for everybody. And if you don't want to live our culture, it's a bit like the show Survivor. Have you seen the show Survivor?
Yes.
Where they get voted off the island?
Yeah.
I'm sure occasionally people get voted off the island.
So it's, in a way, it's like invitation. If this place happens to belong to you and you find your purpose being met, that's the place we are creating. If it doesn't meet, it's okay.
It's okay. And one of our measures you would have seen is 99% of our people say they love to tell people they work at the company. Well, that means that company is their own. This is their company.
Yeah. I see a great sense of ownership. What really stood out for me, which is really rare, is employee voting their managers for coaching, the respect that they command, 96%.
Yes, 96% of our tribe members say they respect their coach.
I know a lot of companies who are trying to create culture of managers as mentors or leaders as coaches. People not willing to get coached by their own team. So in your case, how do you turn this up?
Well, I think trust is very important. As a coach, and if I was your coach, I would be clearly saying to you, I mean you no harm. I'm not here to mark your paper. I'm here to help you get an A. So let's both decide what that A looks like. And it's my job every day to help you step into that best version of your personal self.
Yeah, and that's a great feat of achievement. Among all the parameters that really stood out for me, probably that's the one which has contributed to other parameters also in my mind. The next thing which is in my mind is you have been a busy man, the president, the CEO of a company, and yet you are creating a parallel career for you in the space of being a leadership development and executive coach. How do you manage that?
I don't play golf.
So you use that time to learn.
And not only that, I think, as a legacy, I see the benefit and the joy and that my tribe gets out of what we do. And I would love to help others get that benefit and joy. I think it's a gift that I can hopefully give back as part of the legacy of the learning that I've had so far.
And thing is, what you are doing is a must-do thing. It's not something special. It's every manager's job and
Absolutely.
obligation.
Leadership is a 365 day, 24-hour-a-day job, and it's like being on Broadway and not having an interval. And the worst thing you can do is try to be a leader and not be a good one, because all you'll do is hurt people. The Dalai Lama said our purpose in life is to make people happy. If we can't make them happy, at least don't hurt them. And if you're a bad leader, you're going to hurt people.
Yeah. One of the things, the phrase which I heard from you quite often in the morning session is soul-sucking CEOs. I think that's a very unique way of putting hard things brutally and a kind of showing the mirror that what damage we could be doing. Tell us a bit more about that, the soul-sucking CEO.
Yeah, well, we CEOs create this environment, and if we're people, CEOs who don't involve their people, who let our ego eat our empathy instead of our empathy eating our ego, if we don't do what we say we're going to do, if we're not dedicated to learning and teaching, and a number of other things, we're sucking the soul out of people because they are not getting the opportunity to be their best self. And we have no right to do that. We have no right to do that. We have no right to harm people like that. So, our job as a leader is to be a soul-enriching leader, not a soul-sucking CEO.
Yeah, and if we don't do it, people are just waiting for the right time to leave.
Oh, they are. They're 51% of people are looking for a job right now. We're happy to accept people who not enjoyed where they were and bring them into our tribe.
Yeah. Tell us more about this entire tribal culture. Very native, very primitive, but I see you using that very effectively.
Yeah. Tribes have been with us since the beginning of time, and a tribe is enduring over time. And I did some studies of different tribal behaviors, and one of the biggest desires we have in life is to belong. We've all probably left a relationship, a party, an organization, or a job because we didn't feel like we belong.
Yeah.
And Maslow's hierarchy to self-actualization, the first two rungs are survival and security, and the next one is belonging.
Which is more instinctive.
Right. So we need to create. So a team is something you play on situationally to win a game. A tribe has other elements. The number one responsibility of a tribal leader is to be a learner and a teacher. So that's the number one responsibility of our leaders. Tribes have other attributes, values. They're warriors. They celebrate. They're future focused. They're specialized skills. So we're aware of all these, and we know that these are the elements we have to enrich within the organization to have this tribal culture where people truly know and feel like they belong.
That's a very interesting concept, though ancient and being very effectively used by a company like yours. Hats off to you for pioneering such a thing. My next question to you is, what are your beliefs, business, and behaviors on a daily basis that helps you stay at the helm of affairs effectively?
My belief is that people are important.
Okay.
And I believe that it's my gift in life to help people have happiness, survival, and a good life. So I'm grateful that I've had the opportunity over the last 30 years at WD-40 to be able to create an environment where, in some small, little, tiny way, we've been able to make people's lives better, because life is a gift and we should not send it back unwrapped.
And that passion was so much visible when you were sharing your experiences in the morning talk. What's the other side of Garry Ridge, which is not the professional? What's the person as a human being?
I'm pretty transparent. I'm consciously incompetent. I'm not that showy. I'm an introvert. I like my quiet times. Yeah,
And how do you enrich yourself on a daily basis?
I love to teach.
Okay.
I read, I listen, I love to mingle with people and hear their stories. So I travel. I've been to 58 or 60 countries around the world.
Wow.
So I love to observe culture.
One of the things which I'm going to interpret for my audience is many of people, they bucket themselves as either introverts and extroverts. Yet I see you playing two roles very effectively. When you have the need to think and create, you go into an inward journey.
Mm-hmm.
When you need to connect with customers, clients, and boards, you bring that other thing which is an acquired.
Yeah, I think, it's, life's a stage that on which you play. But, my special times are my quiet times and, with my wife or my family and just enjoying, or with my dog, just enjoying that.
What dog you have?
I have a rescue dog.
Okay.
He's part shepherd, part lab, and I think part Great Dane because he's about 60 pounds. His name's Max.
Max.
Yeah.
And when you go back home, he's the first one to greet you?
Usually, yes. With the tail wagging,
Yeah, that's very interesting. And I think affection at home enables us to bring the affection at workplace.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very important personality. If you were given a time to go back in your life, where would you like to be?
Right here, right now.
Right now.
This is the best day of my life.
That's very heartening to see. And my last question to you is
I guess in small steps, I guess you, again, I probably competed with 16 million sperm to be here, so I'm pretty special, and you are too.
yeah. Thank you very much, and it's a privilege to share this small commune of MG100. I am really delighted to have met you, listen to your talk, and do this interview. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if you come to India ever, let me know.
I would be
If
delighted.
you have some taste for curry,
I love
enjoy
curry.
that.
So
Thank you very much.
Vindaloo is my favorite.
Vindaloo. Oh.